Apparently these are my favorite pants to film in, because it seems like every time lately I have been in these pants when I go to film these videos. So today is a video with a view. Today I'm going to be talking about what I carry in my camera backpack, or camera backpack, as you will. I don't typically carry a regular camera backpack per se, just because I don't like how they open typically. You have to take them off to get to your camera gear, and it's very difficult when you're on the trail or you're out in the field doing bird photography or nature photography to get into a regular camera backpack or have a camera bag with you when you're trying to carry other things as well. I do a lot of hiking photography. I do a lot of, trail photography, landscape photography, nature photography, and some wildlife photography. And so I'm always on the trail, as you have seen in some of my previous episodes, and I have to carry more than just camera gear with me. And every camera backpack that I have found, I cannot carry as much as I need to sometimes. Sometimes we are on an 8-mile, or we've done 12-mile hikes as well, and I'm taking food with me, maybe an extra pair of socks, maybe it's cold or it's wet, and I'm taking a rain jacket or a regular jacket, maybe an extra layer. So I always have to have some sort of room besides just carrying my camera gear itself in a backpack. So I carry usually a regular backpack. Now this is going to be like a 2-part series where I'm going to talk more in depth on how I carry camera gear in a regular backpack or regular bag, such as a duffel bag, purse, what have you. But today I'm just going to talk about how I pack my backpack typically on a regular hike, or just going out and taking like bird photography pictures or something to that effect. So the main reason I wanted to do this tutorial is because I feel, tutorial slash advice, I feel like a lot of people that do a lot of hiking or a lot of nature photography and stuff, we don't talk about how we carry our camera gear per se, and sometimes we carry it such a different way than maybe somebody doing portraits or cityscape or something to that effect. Now this is my newest backpack. This is Fox Tactical backpack. I've been really enjoying this backpack. I just bought it last year. I either carry this, an Ascend backpack, I've carried, other backpacks before, but for the dual purpose of this video, I am carrying this Fox Tactical bag. I really love having different things to where I can hang stuff on. As you can see, I'm already hanging stuff. This is a Kula cloth. It's otherwise known as a pea cloth. It's a good way to, in case of an emergency on the trail and you need to go, you have that with you. I also carry a shit kit, and yes, you heard me, TP kit of some sort. It has, wet wipes in it, 2-ply tissue, and the bag is specifically used to bring that out with you. Remember, leave no trace on the trail. You don't want to leave toilet paper or food items or anything on the trails. Definitely leave no trace. Take everything out with you whenever you go out on a trail. Now I also have my A7 white, and this is the typical mod I typically have when I do have my GoPros with me on trail. I usually clip this onto one of my backpack straps, and that's typically how I handle that. Now what I'm filming with right now is one of my GoPro tripods, and I typically have my GoPro Fusion on that as well. I bring a 360 camera with me whenever we're going someplace that might have a view on trail. And I'm always bringing these Zeiss wipes that I can't find right now. I found an open one. The Zeiss wipes that I know I have some in here, typically have with me, just in case I get some dust on the lenses or something to that effect. Oh, I gotta adjust. Now, I do bring with me, in case the weather gets nasty, I always bring with me some sort of dry bag. I always bring a Sea to Summit dry bag with me. Just in case the weather gets nasty, I have a lot of camera gear, a lot of stuff with me that can't get wet. And so I can stuff it in there and I can make sure that it's not going wet as I'm not getting wet. But I'm also carrying, typically, with me, you know, I have a lot of stuff in the vein pocket. I have my camera rain cover that I just bought recently, especially after our June trip, because it was so rainy during our June trip. And there was times where I couldn't get my camera out. And I have a very expensive camera, so I'm not going to want to have it out in the rain, or in our case in the snow. We were at Apecuni Falls and it was just blowing the snow up there, so I had to rely on my GoPro in that instance. Now, I always carry my camera in my Matador camera base layer. Typically my camera is on me while the backpack is on me, so I don't have to worry about getting it out of the backpack or anything like that. But I carry it with this on just in case something were to happen, the weather gets crappy, my harness fails on me, something to that effect. It has a built-in dry bag, which is amazing. So it perfectly fits my camera whenever I need it. And sometimes I do keep my camera just in my backpack in case I want it and I'm gonna take some pretty pictures, or there might be a photo opportunity. I always carry my backpack with that. I will carry lenses in different bags or different compartments or something to like that effect. I have the Matador lens base layer as well. It's also waterproof, but I typically carry my lenses in a Lowepro case, if I can find it. It's like a Mary Poppins bag. I typically carry my lenses in this. Now, I'm typically carrying a Pancake or my kit lens in one of these. That's typically what I take with me on a trail, just because I'm expecting to take landscape pictures when I'm on the trail. I'm not expecting to take wildlife pictures, by all means. Now, sometimes I do bring my really big telephoto lens with me, and that's another story for another time when I talk about some of my alternative camera ways. Now typically when I do have my backpack, I feel like I'm eating my hair because there's so much wind around here. Typically when I have my backpack and we're hiking someplace where we might not have service, I will have my inReach with me. And I also have, if I don't have cup holders on this, I will have my Nalgene leash. I actually bought this up in Michigan. Thought it was the coolest thing ever, and it was the best thing I could have bought, because I have some backpacks like this one where I can't carry my Nalgene very easily, and I don't want to have to just carabine the loop on it because sometimes that snaps and I can't rely on that. Now, also something else I carry with me. This is actually the harness I use for my camera. This has been perfect for when I'm wearing a backpack, just for the fact that I can easily get to my camera with the backpack on. And that's the most important thing whenever I'm trying to think about being on the trail and think about what's the most easiest way to access my camera. And this is also nice too, because sometimes my camera is heavy depending on what lens I'm using. Sometimes that makes it heavier, and it also has some elastic stretch to it. And I'll go more into detail in the next part of this video, essentially, as to why I chose it and how I chose it. And yeah, it's just, I don't use straps anymore. They just suck. and they were hard on me, especially when I'm wearing a backpack, which is a lot during our day hikes. And this was just so much easier. It was so much more practical in spending the money on something like this than a expensive camera strap that might get the job done. Now this is the main reason why I love carrying a backpack more than a camera bag or camera backpack as well. When you have a camera bag or a camera backpack, everything I have found with some of those camera bags and camera backpacks, you can't just reach in like this and grab whatever you need. With the backpack, I don't know why I'm out of breath. With the backpack, I can be able to reach in, grab what I need, and go. And that's been my biggest thing with what I carry and how I carry it and everything. I've learned over the years on how to carry and why I love to carry the way I do. Just because it's so hard to try and carry everything whenever you're trying to enjoy something or it's starting to hurt you and you're already like 3 miles in and you can't stop. So it's been one of those learning curves and challenges as to figuring out, what works best and what doesn't work best. I have other materials, items, products, whatever you want to call them, that I absolutely love that I always carry with me. And sometimes it works better this way than that way. And it just depends on where I'm going and what I'm doing, what trail I'm doing. We've done so many trails, so many different trails. It was like Apakuni Falls and Glacier, like I said. We did North Kaibab Trail in the North Rim of the Grand Canyon. There was Zion, Angel's Landing. We've done Charlie's Bunyan at the Old Smokies. Like, there's so many different climates, trails, what might be the weather, stuff like that. And it all depends on how you carry your camera gear as well. Now, if you're getting into outdoor camera gear, outdoor photography, outdoor, everything on that front, it's all about hunting and playing with stuff, and trial and error really is what I have figured out. Some stuff has worked better for me than others, and other stuff has worked better for others than me. I had a camera backpack at one time, and my brother actually loves it more than I did. So it's always, I'm not dissing on camera backpacks or camera bags by any means, but it's not what I typically do, and I feel like a lot of people don't know that there's another option out there for you. And so that's what this kind of two-part series is more about, is to kind of show the other alternatives or the other options out there as to how to carry your camera gear when you're traveling or hiking or maybe boating, kayaking, what have you. Now, I'm not sponsored by any of the brands that were mentioned in this video, and when that second video comes out, there will be a link in the description below, or a link somewhere to kind of navigate you in the right direction. Now, I will be back with some hiking videos as well, and we will be back with some more advice or tutorials, whatever you want to call them. Just figured this is the better start of it all because it is named, the channel's name, Mad Squatch Photography, and I feel like I don't talk about my photography gear as much as I probably should. I'm more about the hiking, the outdoor experience than anything else, but I'm trying to learn how to share some of my experience in the field and doing camera work and photography work. So if people out there like me are trying to find ways to go about it, you can totally learn how to do it. And so yeah, sadly I'm not gonna have any more walking in this video as I normally do, because it's a small walk to the car. But I will see you in the next one, and hopefully soon we'll get part 2 up and away. Till next time, guys. Before I forget, don't forget to like and subscribe to this YouTube channel. I actually did it this time. Took me how many videos? don't forget to like and subscribe. We have so much more along the way this year. I'm excited to put more content out this year. So yeah, till next time.